Okay, in this video, I'm going to make it real quick, short and sweet. We only have 4 muscles. I'm going to label these muscles or walk you through the muscles. And this model happens to be depicting the 4 muscles of the rotator cuff. First thing, before I start to actually talk about the names of the muscles, I want to kind of touch on what these 4 muscles help to accomplish. You can see this is our humerus. Here's our humeral head, and you can see this is a pretty cool model because it actually allows you to move humerus like we do. What these 4 muscles and the tendons that extend off of them allow is the head to basically be held in place in that glenoid fossa that exists as part of our scapula bone. So looking at the model, first thing I want to do is kind of help you identify what's posterior and what's anterior. Key to figuring out what's anterior and what's posterior is to find the scapular spine. If you kind of rotate the model around, you'll notice that the spine is only visible in one side. And you can actually even see this is the clavicle, which is a point to illustrate the fact that this is anterior and this is posterior. If the clavicle wasn't there, though, the probably easiest way, in my opinion, is to find the spine of the scapula, which is always going to be posterior. And that's actually what you can palpate or feel if you kind of rub your upper shoulder. That's the kind of blade that we can feel. So first thing you can do is find that spine, and that's going to really help you to identify 2 of the major muscles associated with the scapula. First muscle is this muscle up here above the spine. We literally call that the supraspinatus muscle because it sits in that supraspinous fossa that exists in the scapula. It literally means above the spine, so it's a muscle above the spine, supraspinatus. This big muscle here is actually called the infraspinatus because it sits in the big fossa below the spine. So infraspinatus, infra for inferior, supraspinatus, supra for superior. Okay, the muscle down here at the bottom of our model is this teres minor muscle, which is smaller than the teres major muscle, which would actually hold an attachment point down farther on the scapula. Now if I flip the model around here to the anterior side of scapula, we have to remember that this muscle would be deep to quite a bit of things. So if we're thinking here, we have on the back side, you're working through the skin, and then you have these muscles, the scapula, and then this is going to be that next layer, and then inside of this, or deep to this, would be our rib cage, at least on the posterior side. So this muscle is called the subscapularis, where sub means deep or below, so it makes sense that this is one of the deepest muscles of the body because it's actually inside or super deep, of a bone. Anyway, so those are the 4 muscles of the rotator cuff, and as you can see, this is a pretty simple model, so not a very long video. All right, thank you.